Back in January, after the State of the Union protests, we were approached by Mary Smith, who was the admin that we coordinated with, and she asked me if I wanted to be an admin on the page. I'd never met her, but she joined. She invited me to join, and I vetted the page, and I vetted all the. It looked like a legitimate page, but again, we don't have many good metrics on Facebook or Twitter besides a check mark to decide whether something is legitimate, and followers is really the only metric that we were able to use. And I would say that you did describe it accurately. And we have, as activists in DC, we have very little amplification to reach all the folks that we wanted to come into DC to drown out the Nazis and alt-right that were coming to town on August 12th. And when Facebook took down the page 10 days before the event, it left us scurrying around looking for ways to get
and they took the page down because they believed what?
They took that page down because they thought there was disingenuous behavior on it. The thing about...
What does that mean?
So the event was created by this resistors page without my knowledge. And when I found out a few days later that a DC event was created by this resistors page, I confronted the page admin, again, Mary, and she willfully handed over the page to all the local groups that are legitimate and definitely, I know the people, like I'm a real person. So I think when
but you don't know Mary.
Yep.
You don't know Mary. Have you ever met Mary? You ever talked to her on the phone?
Of course not.
No.
Of course not.
And what do you know about Mary? You said Mary Smith, right? I mean, wow, that's a pretty innocuous name. Did you ever find out anything else about her? And let me ask you something. Do you feel duped?
So I had a lot of feelings right after I found out. I feel more duped by Facebook. I feel as if Facebook could have given us a chance to have a conversation about this page and the ramifications. They did not see how much they would impact DC local organizers and our ability to get the word out about this counter-protest.
Because your point is that once that page was created, even if it was by an outside actor, whoever, Facebook hasn't said it's the Russians, though they see that there's some similarities between previous Russian interference. We don't know that for sure. But once that page was created, you said it was actually doing a lot for the local activists. And that's why you're angry that Facebook took it down? Do I understand that correctly?
Yes, yes. And when you're a local activist, you don't have all the dollars that the rich white, toxic white men around the country that are organizing for the alt-right side and the Nazis. We don't have that money to pay to promote on Facebook. We don't have the money we have only organic amplification, and that requires us to like literally put the labor in. And when we took that page came down, that was a lot of local DC organizing labor that just went down the drain.
You said you feel duped by Facebook, and yet I'm curious if the admin or the person who put the website up in the first place, or put the address up in the first place, was this Mary Smith. Why would Facebook have known that you were involved in it? And why would they have sought out a conversation with you or other fellow local activists who were working loosely in concert with this Mary person?
So Facebook did try to reach out about 8 hours before the page takedown at 6 a.m.
To reach out to you?
Yes, directly out to me as one of the page admins for not only the event that was created by the resistors page, but also as an admin of the resistors page. And apparently I was the only real person. And thank you so much for bringing him on the air so I could actually demonstrate that I am a real person.
Thanks for coming. Can I ask you one more question?
Of course.
I think this whole situation raises this bigger question, which is there's all this complaints, talk that the Russians helped drive the outcome of the election, right? That is President Trump in power because of Russian influence. But when I listen to you, if this was indeed a Russian page, it doesn't sound like they influenced you in any different way. They just influenced you to do what you were going to do anyway, right?
Yes, and I think these pages, like the Resistors page, their purpose was to gain as many followers as possible. And it's a very attractive page to be invited onto when you have 20,000 followers that we can reach out to. And really the only thing I did on that page was trying to reach out to use those followers as a way to amplify the message of local organizers. And I think that there was really no harm done by the page, and in the end, Facebook did the harm by taking the page down and not really communicating at all their intention to do that until after.